We are studying different type of circuits now. We have done the circuits in battery, resistance, but there was only one type of circuit. There is one battery giving steady current and there is only one resistance. So that was a very simple case, but in AC it is very much different. How much it is different, see, that we are going to study, because there is a phase difference between V and I. Because of that, power may be different and there are other features which will be different. First we go for a very simple case. An alternating supply is connected through a resistance. So the first thing, we make a diagram, and that is a simple representation. The AC power supply will be represented this way. Battery or cell will represent this way. This higher one is plus, this shorter is negative, and there is always current going in this direction and in this direction. So this was the notation used for AC EMF and AC current, but DC EMF and DC current. But for AC, the direction is on both the sides. We don't use arrow. We don't use arrow for that. For EMF, the EMF is also variable, so we use this sign, variable. So this is alternating voltage here. Now this potential difference EMF is connected to a resistance. So this is very basic and fundamental representation of AC circuit with resistance. Here EMF we are supplying. How much is that EMF? That EMF is E, which is equal to E naught sine omega t. E is equal to E naught sine omega t. We are supplying at these two ends. Now what will happen here? Some current will flow. How much will be that current? So what do? Divide both sides with R, resistance. So this will be E upon R is equal to E naught upon R sine omega t. E upon R is I, and maximum value of E divided by R is maximum value of I, that is I naught sine omega t. I is equal to I naught sine omega t. This is equation of the electric current. This is equation of the EMF in this circuit. This is equation of the current in this circuit. Now, what is opposition to current here? Opposition to current, according to Ohm's law or according to any law, opposition to current is always E upon I. And here E upon I is equal to R. So this is opposition to current. You will say, what is new in this? Okay, in this maybe it is not new, but when we go to the other circuits, you will find it matters a lot. So this is opposition to current. Then what is the phase difference between the two? Phase difference. By equation. Phase difference we represent in three manners. First, we check it by equation. When this has got phase omega t, where do we see the phase in the equation? Answer, by this angle. This. So E has a phase omega t when the time is t. And when the time is t, what is the phase of I? I has a phase omega t. What is the difference between the two? Answer, 0. That means E and I has no phase difference. That means when E is peak, I is at peak. When E is 0, I is 0. When E is minus E naught, I is minus E naught at the same time. No phase difference. So phase difference is 0. Phase difference is 0 means both change together. Both in same phase. and this represented by wave diagram. Wave diagram. Wave diagram is, say for time period t, this is one cycle of EMF. Then how the current will change? Answer, the current will have the same phase, but value of current will be slightly less than E, because when we divide E with R, then only we get the current. So E is always smaller than I is always smaller than E, because E divided by R becomes I. So this will be this way. This is I, and here you see at this time E is at peak, I is at peak. Both are 0, both are minimum at the same time, at the same time. So there is no phase difference. So this is wave diagram, right? Wave diagram. Now phasor diagram. Phasor diagram. Phasor diagram for this, at any particular instant E naught is at a phase omega t. At the same time I is also at the same phase omega t. This is I naught. What is the value of instantaneous E? This is the value of instantaneous E. What is the value at that time t for I? This is the value of I. This is phasor diagram. What is the phase difference between the two? 0. What is happening to both? Increasing, decreasing? Answer, E is increasing. E is increasing, I is also increasing, both. So this is phasor diagram for AC circuit with pure resistance. So what are the things we have studied? Number 1, diagram. Number 2, equation of EMF. Number 3, equation of current. Number 4, opposition to current. Number 5, phase difference. Number 6, wave diagram. Number 7, phasor diagram. So in any AC circuit, we have to study all these 7 things. Okay, so we will keep on doing it, and with different elements. What is meant by element? Here AC supply is given to resistance. Maybe at one time we will fit this AC supply to an inductor, AC supply to a capacitor, AC supply to combination of the two. So all these things which are coming in the circuit, these are known as elements. The member of the circuits are known as element, and we will keep on changing the element and see all these 7 things we will study in all the elements. So in the next lecture we will see our element will be inductor. When we fit an inductor which oppose the EMF applied, then what will happen? Do they go at the same phase, or there is a restriction from the inductor? What happens to it? That we will study in the next lecture. Thank you.
Why does the current in an inductor lag behind the voltage by 90 degrees? To understand this, let's look at this particular circuit. So we have a pure inductive circuit, which means that there is only an inductor attached to a voltage source. An inductor in its most basic form is simply a coil of wire which is wounded around some kind of a core material. And whenever a current is flowing through this coil of wire, then it leads to the generation of magnetic flux around this particular inductor. And the nature of this magnetic flux is such that it opposes the change in the flow of current. It means that every time the current is either trying to increase or it is trying to decrease, then this magnetic flux opposes the change in the current by generating a secondary EMF through this particular coil. And this induced EMF in the inductor is given by So the induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of current with respect to time. If you compare this kind of an inductive circuit with another circuit which contains a resistor instead of an inductor, so if I had a resistor here instead of an inductor, then the resistor would simply offer an opposition to the flow of current. So what would happen is that in the case of a resistor, if the voltage is rising and it's falling, the current would also rise and fall along with the particular voltage. However, in the case of an inductor, the inductor does not offer resistance to the flow of current, but rather it offers resistance to the change in the flow of current. We end up getting a little bit of a different result. So let's see what happens. The moment we have a power supply which is offering some kind of an AC voltage, so the voltage is going up and down, the polarity is reversing with respect to time at a particular frequency, then with every change in current, the inductor is offering some kind of an opposition by inducing an EMF in the coil which is against the voltage supply. So we can write that Vt is equal to negative of Et. So V is the voltage source and E is the secondary voltage induced inside the inductor. If I write this expression, it becomes minus L di by dt, which becomes L di by dt. This can simply be written as V naught sine omega t is equal to L di by dt, or di, if I bring this side here, then di can be written as V naught by L sine omega t dt. Okay, now if I integrate both these sides with the proper limits, then I end up getting, so if I integrate both these sides, then I get I is equal to V naught by omega L minus cos omega t, or I is equal to, if I can write V naught by omega L as some kind of a constant, because V naught is the maximum voltage. So let's write this as I naught. So I naught is nothing but V naught by omega L, and minus cos omega t can simply be converted to a sine function if I write sine omega t minus pi by 2. So as you can see, the current which is flowing through the inductor also follows a sinusoidal function, but if you compare that with that of the voltage, and there is a phase difference between the voltage frequency and the current frequency of a phase difference of 90 degrees, which is pi by 2. So as you can see in the graphical representation, this pink colored line represents the voltage and the white colored line represents the current. Both have sinusoidal dependence on their frequencies, but the phase of the current lags behind that of the voltage by 90 degrees. And that is because of the nature of the inductor and how it opposes the changes in the flow of current itself.